everybody, Dave here. We're going to take a look at some speakers today. These pair of speakers are from Herdio. This is the model HOS-601. They are indoor-outdoor Bluetooth speakers. So in the spirit of full disclosure, Herdio reached out to me, sent me this pair for review. And like we do in many of our reviews and our speakers that we have come through the shop, we'll take a look at the speakers, we'll dig into them a little bit, and then we'll do a little review about the company as well. Let's have a look. All right, let's take a look at what we've ended up with. We've got the box, we've got some feature details on the box. You can see that. We have an upper and lower closed cell foam packaging. The two speakers are bagged in polyethylene bags. We've got a power cord, a power adapter brick, which is rated for 24 volts, 3 amps. We've got some speaker wire and then a separate 12 volt line, which I'm not sure what the purpose of that's going to be, but we'll have a look. That's perhaps if you need something longer than what's available on the brick. And an instruction manual in the, let's see, eFigs. So English, German, French, Italian, and Spanish. Everything opened up now. I saw that the box said we have removable grills. There was nothing in the instructions about how to do that, but a thin blade putty knife down the side allowed us to remove the perforated metal grill, a typical steel. Actually, I'll check that with a magnet just to be sure, but looks like perforated steel. So anti-rust doesn't mean probably no rust. And over time, you know, my experience with these kind of grills is that they do rust, but the fact that it's removable means you can take them out and treat them if you need to. So that's good. So we'll pull this one off. This is the one with the amplifier in it, and it's nice to see the QC Passed sticker on there. ABS plastic probably. I like, there's a couple little feet on the bottom, so if you did want to keep them as bookshelf speakers, you could do that. The mounting brackets, you could have vertical or horizontal mountings. They've got some nice keyhole slots, which is helpful if you want to make that easily removable. They've got the knurls on the bracket and the matching knurl on the case, so that when you tighten down the nut, they'll hold in whatever position you want to orient them to. So that's always helpful. 6.5 inch polymer woofer. My guess is well, it says PEI. I'm not sure if it's PEI. We'll take a look at that and take a look at the tweeter dome and see what's there. But we do have a removable baffle, so let's see what happens. Actually, it's not a baffle. Those are just the 6 screws to remove the front and back half of this, which is separated. So we'll see if there's any glue holding it together, and we'll keep digging. So as I went to look at start tearing into the other one, I did notice that the back half of the cabinet on this one, and I noticed this when the box came in, there's a little, like the box got dropped on this corner, and that appeared to have resulted in 2 small cracks here at the corner of the outer case. So I'm not sure how watertight that seal is. These obviously are not made to immerse, but that could be a little compromising. We'll take a look at that once we open it up and look on the inside. Also, it looks like binding post nut was almost off, and then this is your power connection right here. So let's we'll tear into these a little bit further now. All right, we've used the speaker wire to connect the powered speaker to the amplified speaker. There's banana jacks on there or screw terminals. We've got our 12-volt power adapter plugged into 110. I'll check the voltage on this. And then I do like this, that extra 12-volt cable was in the event that you had a 12-volt power source already in existence and you wanted to uh, not use 110, but just use that 12-volt source. So you've got a little pigtail here with the appropriate jack on it to power the Bluetooth amplifier, and you could even use a cigarette lighter. So if you really wanted to have a little more portability, take these somewhere, run them off your car, run them off your RV, any 12-volt source, they would work. Okay, so I'm glad I checked it because I reminded myself that the power adapter is 24 volts, 3 amps. So this is if you had a 12-volt source, and I'm not sure if I said 12 or 24, but the point is the Bluetooth amplifier can run between 12 and 24. So 24 times 3 amps, that would be 72 watts. I believe these were rated for, let me check the rating again one more time, 2 by 200 watts max power. So I'm not really, that could be a little deceiving. Um, is that 400 watts? And the box says 400 watts. So let's assume that that's 100 watts per channel, 200 watts per channel. So that would mean that in theory, you could have, maybe a 6 amp um, 24 volts. I'm not sure if you should go more than 24 volts on these. I'm not sure I would. Most of the Class D amplifiers, some of them are rated for up to 48 volts, but most are in this, I think in this range, are probably closer to 24 volt is the maximum level you should go to. So I'd be careful if I were going to push this more than 24 volts, 5 or 6 amps. But you should be fine with the supplied power supply. So let's plug it in and see what happens.
Bluetooth mode.
Okay, well, a couple things I have to report. One, when I plugged the jack into the port on the back, I did have a spark back there. That's probably not a good thing. And then we heard the Bluetooth mode indicator kick in. I think I heard a little distortion coming out of the left channel here, the powered channel. And I see that we have a flashing LED on the amplifier board. You can see that through the polyfill. See if I can, yeah, that's viewable on screen. So that means we're ready to connect. So let's pull up the phone and see what we can do. This device should now be discoverable, and there it is, an HOS-601. So we're going to connect to the HOS-601.
Connected.
All right, we are connected. All right, I've got to tell you, I heard some low volume, no issue. As I started to bring the volume up on that, I started to hear some distortion on the powered channel. So I'm going to, I think, start by disconnecting the passive channel, and let's do a little troubleshooting and see what else we can learn from that. All right, I think you can hear that. So maybe when I opened it up, something is not the way it should be. When I put it back together, let me try that again. All right, let's take a look at what we found here. We opened it up, and if you remember, we noticed a little damage to the box and the outer cabinet on the powered unit. And once we turned the volume up, we heard a lot of distortion. Not surprising. What you see here is the rivets that hold the magnet assembly to the basket have pulled through the basket, and the glue also failed. So there you can see a little of the residual glue just pulling away down at the bottom. And there you see the voice coil being open to the air, which of course it shouldn't be. So this one is toast. So what we're going to do is we're going to contact Herdio and send them this information and see what happens from there. We'll do a follow-up and hopefully be able to complete the video. So I went and retrieved the Amazon box that the Herdio box was double packaged in, and I see that it's has damage on this corner. So this tells me that this is probably something done by Amazon between packaging and delivery. All right, it's about a week later. As we said, we reached out to Herdio about the damage that we had on the original pair. They sent us a replacement pair. I was a little bit dismayed to see both the Herdio box and the overbox from Amazon had some additional damage. I'll pop some photos up so you can see that. So they were damaged in a similar but different way. So this pair, I believe, took a hit also in transportation. I can't say for sure where, but I think it's in the Amazon handling, because the outer box was damaged too. But I will tell you, the inner box was damaged quite a bit more. But they were damaged in the same area. I've got a photo that I'll pop up of what the grill looked like originally on the powered unit. The non-powered unit, the passive unit, was perfectly fine. And you can
Connected.
So that's another comment we'll talk about in a little bit. You may still be able to see a little residual damage from the bend that had been applied from the shipping damage to the grill. I popped it back out, but I wasn't able to fully get rid of this little dent area. It's one of those things that's a little tough to work with. Anybody that's tried to do body work on vehicles, you know how difficult that can be. There you can maybe see a little bit better. So very, very small, but it is noticeable. Okay, this pair sounds fine. We're going to do a couple things at this point. So I'm actually fairly happy with the sound. I think it's a good sound, a balance across the full spectrum, lows to highs. There's enough bump there on the low end, I think, to make most people happy. So I'm going to do a spectral plot for these. My spectral plots are only comparable with each other. I do all the setups the same way. You can take a look at my website, and it explains how that's all done. And I have frequency plots posted there from all the speakers that I process through the shop. So I'll put a plot up of this one, It's a little lumpy down at the lower end, but overall not too horrible. And my plots are really only relative to my space and to each of the speakers that um, are tested there. So that's the point of reference you need to use. Okay, the point that I did want to bring up, you heard it at the early part of this clip, the announcement that you're
Disconnected.
there it is.
Connected.
There it is again. The announcement that you're in Bluetooth mode or not in Bluetooth mode, and whether you're connected or not connected, is something you can't stop. It happens all the time. Every time you connect or disconnect, you can't change the volume on it. Whatever volume your device is set at that's connecting, that's the volume you get. You can't disable the announcement. That's common with some amps and not common with other amps. Some Class D amps do let you uh, turn that Bluetooth announcement on and off, but you cannot on these. So under some circumstances, that might be a little bit annoying, depending on where you're going to put these and who's listening. All right, so overall, I think I'm pretty happy with it. I think the customer service, the warranty service is good. They followed right up. And I think we're going to do a couple things at this point. We're going to stop. We're going to take a look at the Herdio website, see what they have to say about this product on that website, as well as other products that they have on their website. Then we're going to repair the other original set. We're going to attempt to repair, and we'll see if we're able to get that magnet assembly back to the basket and see if we can make the original pair functional again. If we are able to do that, we still have the issue of the original little bit of damage up on the corner there, so we'll see what we can do about that.
I did feel it was relevant to make a short clip here of the spark that you get when you do plug the power in, and so let's do that, and then let's talk about it a little bit.
Bluetooth mode. Connected.
So a couple points there. Doesn't matter whether you plug in the AC adapter into your outlet first and then plug in the DC jack here, or whether you plug in the DC jack here first and then plug your AC adapter into your wall outlet. You do get a spark either way. This is there's different religious thoughts about this, but I know a lot of people do get freaked out about electricity. I think this is not the first device that I've seen. This is not the first Class D amplifier that I've seen that does this same kind of thing. It's a little disconcerting to some people, and I'm not going to make a final summary on whether or not that's a safety issue. That's something you're going to have to think about yourself. It's just the way it is, and I've tested both pairs. I've got the replacement pair and the original damaged pair, and they both have the same symptom. Just wanted you to be aware of that. As we like to do when we talk about speakers, we like to talk about the company. So let's see if we can dig into a little bit more about Herdio. Their website is called Herdio Tech. Here's the homepage. And you can see they're prominently displaying what they have on sale this summer. Ceiling speakers, outdoor speakers, marine speakers, in-wall speakers. They've got a whole variety of collection here. They talk about each one. Marine speakers, so I think those are Marine, not Marion's speakers, so a little spelling correction needed. That might give you a little clue about where Herdio is from. The website is fairly complete. There's a contact section, so it's always nice to have an email and, in this case, a phone number. The 86 number is in mainland China, so we've got a US number as well for support, a UK number, and a direct-to-China number. I also found in the website a little About Us story. So Johnson is the founder, been working for 12 years. on this kind of thing. They even talk about their main outlet is Amazon, AliExpress, and eBay. You can also order directly from their website. And you know, they're looking to find their niche clearly. Here's the actual address for Herdio in Shenzhen. That was good to see. They have a variety of trademarks and have had for half a dozen years or so. The parent company shown here, Shenzhen Jingwei Electronics Technology Company Limited. There's a few extra trademarks that they have filed. So there's the main trademark from Herdio. Then they've got this one called Studio Phoenix. Audio Shark, looks like they're not using that anymore. And then it looks like there's another one here called Marine Max, which they had filed, but they're not using anymore either. And they have a whole, it seems like there's kind of a niche in this, 4 to 6.5 inch range. A lot of the idea of water protection and waterproof seems to have carried through their entire line. The outdoor speakers that we have just acquired from them are the outdoor speakers listed here. So we can click on this box and that'll take us and show us they have a smaller version, 4-inch, 2 ways, 5 1/4, 2 ways, and then the 6.5 2 ways, which are the ones that we've shown you. And you can get them with or without the Bluetooth. And then they have pairs of 4 as well, not just pairs of 2, or sets of 4, I guess I should say. So fairly wide range. I noticed the indoor speakers aren't really constructed like this. All their indoor speakers are really coax, from what I saw on the site. So if we go back here to the product center, the home audio, all these 4, 5 1/4, and 6.5 inch speakers are all coaxial drivers. So that's how they're accomplishing that. I found it interesting, these little wall plates. So the amplifier, the Bluetooth connection, there's a microphone connection here as well. Power on and off. And so that's a interesting solution. I can imagine some people wanting to take advantage of that to build a little in-home listening area. All right, so that's a little bit of a rundown about Herdio. I guess in summary, I did like the speakers. So they put together a nice kit for you with the product that we've looked at. And yes, you could do your own set of indoor-outdoor speakers, combine that indoor-outdoor speakers with a small Bluetooth Class D amplifier, get some wire, get a power adapter, and you could create a similar system. I think the value add here is putting it all together in a single box, order it on Amazon. Everything you get is all that you need. There's some options. The videos, they actually have some videos on the website which are reasonably helpful. I did take a quick look at them, and in the support center here they have this section called wiring videos.
Hello guys, welcome back to Herdio channel. This is the second video in our outdoor series on how to wire them up.
It's a fairly complete video. I enjoyed it. You can watch those, and I think you'll learn about the product and everything that you need to know to get it to work well for you. No Wi-Fi connection. I guess that's one thing worth noting. So it has all the normal difficulties and stabilities and inefficiencies of Bluetooth. But as you can see scrolling across the screen here, you've got the 1-year warranty, lifetime customer support, shipping, 90-day money-back guarantee. I didn't test the 90-day money-back guarantee. As I mentioned, I did receive these free of charge from Herdio, and you'll see in my description section for this video an affiliate link that if you purchase these through Amazon or from Herdio, I do get a couple bucks for it, so thank you much for that. Meanwhile, let's go back to the original pair and see if we can fix them. All right, we're gonna try to do a little repair, and I don't know how successful this is gonna be, but let's see if we can get a little pointer in here and show you what's happened. So this is let me use this little plastic shim. This gap, we have the basket below, we have the magnet assembly above, and down inside here you can see the copper colored winding of the voice coil. Now, in addition to that, we can see right here there's a rivet, and that rivet is attaching this steel plate of the magnet assembly to the basket, and the rivet has pulled through the basket, and I believe there are, looks like 4 rivets, so at least 3 of them have pulled, and the 4th one looks like it might still be all right. So what we're going to try to do here is we're going to take some super glue on this plastic shim. So it's a thin plastic shim. We're going to put super glue on both sides of the shim. Then we're going to slide the shim into the gap, and we're going to spread the super glue between the steel plate of the magnet assembly and the steel basket. And then we've got a clamping setup here with a couple of files to span the basket and magnet assembly, and then we're going to squeeze it together, and we'll see if we can get the rivets to reseat themselves, and then from that point forward the super glue is going to be what holds it together, hopefully. So this is probably not something that I can show you on camera, but I think you get the idea. We're going to make sure that we don't have any super glue and that the shim cannot pass too far in and actually contact the voice coil, because that would be bad. So we'll put a little stopper on the edge of our shim, and that way we know that the glue can't be inserted any farther than the stopper. All right, so that's the next step, and I think our next shot will be hopefully of the 2 of them clamped together, and we'll see if it's successful after that. All right, we've made some progress. I don't think we're 100% there yet, but right here's the gap that we're trying to close, and we've got it down to, and this is with the super glue, so and clamped, and everything didn't seat fully, but you can see a little light through there in a few spots, but the light is all the way around. It's about half a millimeter. So I think what we're going to do next is we're going to put some adhesive sealant in there, some sort of rigid sealant, gap filling but not expanding, so Gorilla Glue wouldn't work, but we'll put some other adhesive gap filling sealant, probably a polyurethane glue, but a non-foaming one. We'll get that in there, that'll harden, and then we should be able to make sure we have no resonance or anything with this. I did a quick sound check at the distortion. I didn't crank it all the way up, but the distortion is gone at this point, so that's good news. All right, we've advanced to the final stages of the repair. We've got our tone generator going at 42 hertz today. And if you look in there, you can see the cone excursion happening. We've put our glue in that gap there. You can see we're getting a little squeeze out. And we've changed clamping method on this final portion, so we've got the glue squeeze out happening. We've got no voice coil rub occurring, and we'll come back when the glue is dry and do a final listen. But it looks like our repair is successful.